Hey, how's it going? This is Darrin Goodman from GuitarControl.com bringing you this video lesson. Today I want to show you some of the licks from the main riff of Sweet Child of Mine from Guns N' Roses. I'm going to look at the intro and the way the intro actually ends after it repeats a few times, way it ends when it goes into the verse, and then the chorus itself, because that's another variation on this same riff. So be sure to click on the link in the description for the tabs, and let's get close up and take a look at this. All right, so first off, if you want to kind of get that tone like he has on it, obviously, play with distortion, but also flip your switch up so you're playing on the neck pickup, and it kind of, it gives it more of that tone that that's how Slash did it. He plays on that pickup. So anyhow, let's take a look at this. So for the intro, this first riff, this is the one that's repeated, throughout the whole song. It's the really recognizable part. This is a great exercise for both hands, for picking and for the fingering of it, and keeping the guitar quiet, muting the other strings so you don't hear them. Okay, so the first thing we have is with your first finger, we're going to play the 12th fret of the 4th string with your first finger. And this is all played as 8th notes, by the way. So we have the 12th fret of the 4th string is a downstroke. Then the 15th fret of the 2nd string, and I'm using my 3rd finger for that, is an upstroke. Then to the 4th fret of the 3rd string, or excuse me, the 14th fret of the 3rd string with your 2nd finger. And then to the 12th fret of the 3rd string with your 1st finger. So. And then from there, it goes to the 15th fret of the 1st string with your 3rd finger, to the 14th fret of the 3rd string with your 2nd finger, to the 14th fret of the 1st string with your 3rd finger, and then back to the 14th fret of the 3rd string again. So that first measure, and like I said, this is 8th note, so you're going to count that. You're going to count that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Just like that. So the first two measures is the same thing. Then, starting on the 3rd measure, the entire riff stays the same. It's just the first note, that bass note, switches from the 12th fret to the 14th fret. But all of the other notes stay the same. So how I do that is I just keep my first finger here, where it is on the 12th fret. In fact, I'm actually barring it, so I'm picking up the 3rd string as well, and I'll explain why in just a minute. So now when I go to the 3rd measure, I pick up that 14 with my 2nd finger, and then I do everything else exactly the same way as we did on the first two measures. Count it exactly the same way. So now you're just using, your 2nd and 3rd finger to do, all of the work there. And that's measure 3 and 4 are both the same. So the first two measures. Okay, and then earlier I said that I was just barring across the 4th and the 3rd string at the 12th fret. It's because starting on measure 5, now the bass note has changed to the 12th fret of the 3rd string. So in this way I don't have to move anything. So I play that note, and then everything else is the same. And then for measures 7 and 8, it just repeats, it does the same thing that the first two measures again. So back to the 12th fret of the 4th string for that bass note. Now on your tabs it shows that that's a repeat. So the first 8 measures is actually played on the original song, is played 3 times in a row, because it's one time through just with guitar, and then another time through where the bass line comes in and the rhythm guitar and the drums, and then a third time where it comes in like the drums doing a whole beat, you know, not just doing accents, and it plays through the whole thing, and that leads into the verse. So the first 8 measures, whoops, and then, like I said, you would repeat that. So when it does it on the 3rd time, where it moves into where it moves into the verse, they do slightly change how it is played. So it would be like measures 5 and 6 would be the same, but it's measures 7 and 8 that change. So on the tabs, I did it so measure 9 and 10 are actually the same as 5 and 6, so that way you can practice playing that transition. So that's starting off with the bass note on the 12th fret of the 3rd string. So we play those 2 measures. And then from there, it goes to the 12th fret of the 1st string. So I take my first finger now and just roll it down so it picks up the 1st string. And I'm going to go 12 there to 14 on the 3rd string to 15 on the 2nd string. And then back to 14 on the 3rd string. So, and then back to 12, back to 14 on the 3rd string, to 14 on the 1st string, to 14 on the 3rd string, to 15 on the 1st string, back to 14 on the 3rd string, back to 14 on the 1st string, back to 14 on the 3rd string, back to 12 on the 1st string, back to 14 on the 3rd string, and then finally ending on 15 of the 2nd string. So those 2 measures all right. So and then from there, like I said, we're not doing the entire song, so it goes like up into the verses and all that, and then when it goes into the chorus, it goes back into a variation on this same lick that we've already been doing. So what it does is it starts off just with a major bar chord. So I'm fretting the 12th fret of the 5th string with my first finger, and then I'm barring my 3rd finger across the 14th fret of the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd strings. So, and I'm picking 5, 2, 3, 4, and then I'm using my 4th finger to pick up the 15th fret of the 2nd string, back to the 4th string, and then taking that 4th finger off and picking up the 14th fret of the 2nd string again, and then back to the 4th string. So whoops. That is probably one of the trickier parts of the whole thing, because it's just kind of cramped up here, with the frets being close together. Your fingers are all kind of crammed together. So that's probably one of the hardest parts of the whole chorus. So it does, that's one measure. Then you're going to do the main riff again, like how the first measure is, except you're going to move it down a whole step. So your first finger will be on the 10th fret. So instead of being 12, 15, 14, it's going to be 10, 13, let's see. Yeah, 10, 13, 12. And then you're going to slide up to 12 and do 2 measures of just like the beginning of it. All right, so starting again at the first of the chorus, measure 13, we do like that bar chord. Move, slide down to 10, up to 12. And then from there, measure 17, it does that same thing again. So we go back to the bar chord again. Back to the 10th fret. And then the only thing that's different here is we slide up to the 12, and you're going to go 12 on the 4th string, 14 on the 3rd string, and then 15 on the 2nd string. So, and just let that ring out. So, all right, so I hope you enjoyed that and got something out of it. Like I said, this is a great exercise for both hands, for your picking and getting some individual, finger, coordination and stuff with your fretting hand. One thing that I didn't talk about is that when you're playing it, you don't want to hear, you don't want to hear all those other strings ringing out. So I take the this part of my hand and I just rest it on the lower strings, so that way you only hear the strings that I'm actually trying to play, and hopefully you don't hear the other ones. So if you're hearing a lot of background noise and stuff with that, just try to be really self-aware. Try just switching your hand position just slightly. Sometimes those little teeny tiny changes don't seem like they'd be a lot, but they really are. It really makes a big difference. So if you enjoyed this video and you got something out of it, subscribe to the channel, give the video a like, leave me a comment down below, and until next time,